they have just started. To those who are on MWLNN, I'm gonna link it in chat quick.
I am logging back in, typing the... That's kind of unfortunate.
All right. So in blue we will have CSJ. They have brought they brought King Crab. So it's not a King Crab, 2 Direwolves, a Timberwolf, a Hellbringer, 2 Timberwolves, a Hellbringer, Stormcrow, and a Raven 2X. They're sitting pretty far back, just on their lower spawn here, getting long lines of fire down the mid, like we're talking. QQ is in red. They've got similar, but their Direwolves, they brought Ultra Autocannons on that. They're rolling up the mid towards Theta Cap Point in force along the beach, not going all the way out into the water. I'm going to hop into a first-person perspective and try and give you some of the action that way. Morgan from CSJ in a Direwolf, he's got one of his torsos stripped off, and his CT has been opened up. Or sorry, this is QQ's side.
He's
opened up by the focus fire as they come down.
And welcome to the
QQ has taken Theta. Now, that's not going to be a big deal. This is going to turn into just a straight slaughter. Slaughterfest, Killfest. Map is too small to do anything else. Warlord for QQ, he's also gotten half his Direwolf taken off. And QQ, all in all, they seem to be in a bit of a rough spot. By the way, are you in, Heim?
It won't let me load in. The client's not.
Monkey, the last Direwolf for QQ, is also down to 56%. QQ as a whole, they seem to be, they're bunched up by Theta. They're not getting the best ends of their trades. Monkey loses half his weapons there, and CSJ is relatively untouched, to be honest. Like, lowest they've got is 87%. Well, that's basically the highest QQ have got. And they're just spreading out in the water, getting good lines of fire. And I don't think there's enough, like, 4 mechs down for QQ, and I don't think there's anywhere near enough momentum for them to be able to switch this around.
Well, Siri, you might have to switch over to your perspective, or if you want to try streaming the spec tool. After the...
Like, it's just straight up, like, when you refresh the page, it doesn't log in.
When I click the name, it just refreshes. It doesn't do anything. So when I click spectate, you know.
That's odd. But it still gives
you
the option to enter.
I got it.
Okay, good.
Wow. Okay,
sorry,
that's
guys.
pretty terrible.
May drop tech difficulties. Yeah, CSJ is just pushing up into the beach with the overwhelming lead they've got, cleaning up the last QQ mechs. That push out of QQ will mock it up rather on the screen afterwards, but it was straight down the gut. They had brought UAC 5 Direwolves instead of the more laser vomit Gauss oriented builds, meaning that when they were in between the 600 meters to 1,000 meters, that CSJ was able to put down some pretty brutal fire on them and take 2 halves of a Direwolf off. Get the others in a position where they no longer have the momentum to push, and on my stream there was no sound. Shit. Oh well.
Oh wow, that first match was a flop. For both ends then. That's okay. We got the feed for this one at least. That's an 8-0 by CSJ. Pasha Osis and a Direwolf dealing 800 damage, 2 kills. Energy, now known as Esoteric, dealing 2 kills, 600 damage. CSJ just completely wiped the floor on this map. Looked like they had some longer range stuff.
It was coming down. QQ pushed straight down the middle, and those 2 Direwolves just got so much work done in the first maybe 45 seconds of that match that it was almost sealed from the get-go.
Wow.
But I'm gonna screenshot that. Oh, God damn it, too slow. Anywho.
So, back into the... And we're back. Okay, so we're on the forest colonies now. And you do have we're on the canvas thing, right, still? At least that's working, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have one thing going for us, and I assume my camera's up, so 2 things.
Yeah, so we could at least draw out what happened that match. Really sorry about the
Okay.
technical difficulties, by the way.
I blame Bill. Alright, so QQ, they had the high side, and they brought 3 Ultra AC5 Dire Wolves, 3 Timber Wolves, I assume it was a Stormcrow plus a Raven, and just off the bat, they pushed straight down the gut like this. And it was 2 King Crabs, 1 King Crab, 2 Dire Wolves, Hellbringer, 2 Timberwolves, Stormcrow, Raven 2X for CSJ, and all they did was literally just step right here onto the Delta 4 numbers, and from there, long firing line all the way up to where QQ was pushing. Direwolves were leading the push for QQ. Direwolves were focused out from the front of the push, and after that, QQ there's a small hill here by Theta that they just took refuge behind. CSJ spread out deep into the water, just multiple firing lines anytime QQ tried to push or to poke up and get a trade to perhaps get it back in their favor. Instantly, 2 or 3 guys firing back on them, and it just spiraled out of control from there.
Yeah, going down that very open, visible road from B2 down to that Theta area is just not a good idea. You can pretty much see, the enemy team down in the D5 spawn or CSJ spawn. You could see pretty much the entire enemy team movement going down that road towards Theta, and you just get free shots on them the entire time with long-range weaponry. It's kind of unfair. I'm not sure what QQ is trying to do. The better idea is usually to go shoreline and then, work your way up to boat from there and see what your options are. I think going straight in the open is a little too... it was a little too open. It was a little, opening up your entire force to CSJ mechs that are in cover. I mean, I didn't even really see the match, and I can tell you that that's pretty much what happened is, yeah, the QQ didn't hold up at that long range angle. They literally just had a disadvantageous position the entire time, it seemed.
I think I can kind of see what they were after, and say the enemy team had pushed up like straight for boat right away, and they hadn't lingered in that D4 area, then they would have got in like the boat blocking line of sight. They would have got in this big rock blocking and in here, and normally like you would have people like heading deep for this side down here, yeah. So if they were doing that, then they could have advanced down towards Theta without getting just that withering fire on them. But
yeah, there's a firing line waiting for him.
But because CSJ just hesitated there, or I don't know if it was scouted, it was like, okay, just stop here, take all your shots, they're coming. I wonder if QQ had waited another maybe 5-10 seconds for CSJ to be like, oh, nothing's here, let's move, and then push down straight for Theta. Maybe that's better. Like, catch them in between the time where they're transitioning behind these rocks, where they don't have the initial shots and they haven't yet established on the boat. Maybe. So I think I can at least get inside their heads and see why that call might have been made. Right. But it was mistimed for sure, given what happened.
And those 5-10 seconds make a huge difference, as you could see. It's because losing 4 mechs off the bat like that is not good. Alright, so the next drop